welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We're excited to be here today. If you're new to our channel, make sure you hit subscribe and notifications. We go live every Wednesday at 10:30 Mountain Time AM to take you along with us as we transform junk.
Yeah, we try real hard to make it all junk. Every now and then we have something that's not real old salvage, but mostly it's salvage.
This literally was junk that I had in my basement. I was watching Fixer Upper the other day and Chip was giving Joanna grief over all her antique hoarding that she does, and I was like, that would be me if I had more money and more space. Because literally this morning we're like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, well, we need a checkout desk for the shop, because if you guys didn't know, we're taking over the shop space we're in now. We're gonna take over the whole store and it'll just be Jami Ray Vintage. That happens, the shop is ours September 1st and we open September 11th. So we need a checkout stand. And I just happen to have old porch post and an old door in my basement that we used for a salvage wall that we won't need because we're moving. So ta-da!
We're going to use these for legs.
Yeah, so this is an old porch post. We had two, right?
Yep.
We originally salvaged them. I don't even know where they came from, do you?
Yeah, they came out of that old house that our chiropractor was tearing down, and he's like, hey, you guys want anything out of this? And we're like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, so from American Fork, that's right. So that's where these came from. And then the old door, I actually don't remember. It's from, oh, this old door, is this from the Clifton house stuff?
I believe that one is, because it had numbers on it, I think, at one point.
The other one has numbers on it. So this old door is from the Clifton house. If you guys haven't watched that video, just search Jami Ray Vintage Clifton house. And I've had them down in my basement, beautifully displayed for like a year or so. How long has it been since we did that?
It's been almost 3 years now.
Okay, is the sound off on this stuff?
Yep.
Okay. And so now we're going to make a entry table. So what we're going to do is this old door is going to be the tabletop. And it's already green on the other side, which will be the top. We're going to stencil it. Then we're going to do epoxy over it. Then Zeb will put a lip. And we're going to take those porch posts are going to be the legs. And it's going to be like counter height, so we can put two bar stools underneath it.
Yep.
And that way we can fit a couple employees and it's big enough.
I need you to move that. This is.
I'm actually thinking it's way bigger than the table we currently have, but hopefully it fits.
It'll fit in the area, and
it might go all the way up to the fireplace.
Yeah, we'll just have to arrange it. So hopefully, I'm trying to get this on here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I already.
Do I need to come off?
You can work on like this edge over here, stencil your board or whatever.
Is this table going to be like a coffee table they make with the different colored planks of wood? No.
No,
but
that's similar. That's like where we got the idea was old porch posts. So you can see here I've countersunk 3/8 holes so that I can plug them. And I did that with the drill beforehand so it wasn't loud and so we can hurry this build along. I'm going to put the lip of the table on here. This is what will support the legs. And then there will be a brace, which I don't have. I probably won't get to that today. That goes across here. I have several table build videos if you guys want to catch those. If you really want the details on how to build the table and put the legs on, that would be probably a better option.
So this board here is 2x6 that we salvaged out of the ceiling of the 100-year-old house that we're going to be moving into soon, and then we're also renovating it. We have videos on our channel showing us renovated. So this is salvage wood as well. It's going to need to be sanded, but once we get it all put together, I'll come back through and sand everything, and then it'll all get sealed very, very well so nobody gets any splinters.
So I'm using 1 5/8 screws, and this is countersunk through this board, probably about 5/8 of an inch. So and the board is 1.5 inches, so you should get a good bite. You want at least 1/2 inch for your screws to bite in to be nice and strong. So that's what I'm doing over here on this back end.
Countersunk means he used a drill and made a hole.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was squeaky. I feel like old wood is squeaky. The reason why you do countersinking holes is so you don't split the wood.
And so you can plug them. All right, I'm going to make this one go quick and hopefully it won't squeak so bad. I have to do like 9 of these. All right, that was better.
Okay, Sherry says she has a square oak table over 75 years old like this, and she's going to make an island. This would actually really make a really great island. This one's going to have Jami Ray Vintage stenciled on it, so I don't know if somebody wants that in there. But it's going to be cool.
Hustling along.
How long before we move into our house? They asked me, but I feel like that's by Christmas, yeah?
I am hoping that most of it is done and ready to, I mean, we're gonna have like trim work and things like that that still need to be done.
The house is never gonna be done all the way. That's the answer.
The house will be done, but just kind of like this house, Jamie's always finding new projects, or she changes things, or she wants board and batten on this wall. You know, that's what we do.
We're hoping to be living in it by Christmas.
I would say first of the year is more
Christmas
realistic.
and first of the year are 6 days apart.
Like, I'm thinking like 2 weeks into January, first of the year.
We'll see.
I don't know. We've got some trips coming up that are going to kind of put a kink. We got to open this store, so it's set my timeline back about 3-4 weeks.
T. Mackey says, I think this is the first Waste Out Wednesdays I've caught live. Awesome. These are always interesting live videos because
we build in our kitchen.
We build in our kitchen, and we literally came up with this idea this morning.
Oh, you want to tell them the incubation of this idea and what we were doing?
What were we doing?
Well, we were going to do a sign.
Oh, we had a million things planned for today. We thought we were going to do the front sign, but I haven't decided exactly how I want the front sign. And then I was like, wait a second, I have some junk in the basement, and I need a table for the shop. And so then I was just like, yeah, legs, old door, done. All right. Any tips on straightening out a warped drawer?
Oh.
Get it wet and put something heavy on it.
Yeah, soak it in the tub for a little bit and then put some real heavy weights, make sure it's nice and flat, and let it dry out like that.
Caitlin, this will have counter height bar stools so you can stand at it or sit on a bar stool.
Yeah, it'll actually be about 37 and a half, 30, I might even be 38 inches high. It'll be tall because it's got this big lip, so I want the bar stools to be able to fit underneath.
Yeah, we have to slide the bar stools underneath.
Traditional counter height is 36 inches.
Lucy says they built their house 42 years ago and it's still not done. What did you need me to do, sweetie?
You could paint your board on top of this if you need to paint your board.
Oh.
Trying to make it not sweet, guys. I'm trying. All right, I got a little wiggle in my board, so I may need you to come. Can you come hold this down over here?
Well, you want me to paint? You want me to hold it down? What are we doing here?
Change my mind for just
a half a
second. So I need you to hold this down, and they can't see what we're doing.
All right, I'm coming over this side. I'm gonna hold this down.
Like, hold it down heavy. Like, lift yourself up. There you go. Because if that's not, are you holding it?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta pull it. All right, screw's doing the work now.
All right. You need me anymore? You good?
You're good. You can paint your stencil.
All right. So I found this is an old board that they were like wonkily using to hold up the front porch that Zeb has replaced.
Wonkily.
Well, it was like at an angle and broken, attached to another board. And so we replaced that because it wasn't in there very good. And so this is from the old house as well. And I'm gonna make a sign that just says like, "Thank you, Jami Ray Vintage," and it's gonna hang from the front desk. Just gonna let people know that's the side they check on, and I want to say thank you to them. So just gonna paint it with little black dress and DIY paint. One coat will be enough because it's thick and this wood is very, very dry. Do you need me for something?
Nope, I think we're good for a minute. I am gonna scoot you down so that I can get this.
And Zeb will frame this out to make it look cute.
Frame the sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not on the channel because we haven't already cut the wood. You're gonna have about 42 signs to frame before we're all done. Tomorrow's video is gonna be all the new stencils. So stay tuned for that.
So the fun thing about old doors is it is wider at the top than it is at the bottom, and one of the sides has been cut down a little bit, so it was only like maybe a quarter of an inch that it was cut down, so I didn't sweat straightening it up. It's salvage.
So the board is not square.
But my boards were measured in place.
They can't see you over there.
And I gotta find, it's okay. I'll be back in just a second.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull way back. Hopefully you guys can hear and see everything that's going on. There we go.
All right. I'm gonna come read comments. All right, let's see what people are commenting today.
I feel like one of my boards got cut a little long, but longer is better than shorter because I can sand that down into place and it'll be fine. So I'm just gonna screw this on and we're gonna live with it.
It's just the drawer front that Andrew says is warped. The bottom sets in more than the top. Do you think I should replace it or try a wet and wait method? It's just a drawer front. Wouldn't you just replace the drawer front?
Yeah, if it's something that's not like real ornate, if you can just get like some common pine or something, or even.
I would probably put it in your bathtub and get it really wet, let it soak, and then put something heavy on it and see if you can straighten it out.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work, then replace it.
That's really the easiest way, and it shouldn't. I mean, if you're not leaving it submerged for months, it should be okay to just get it wet for like.
I mean, it's already not working, so if you make it not work worse, then you just replace it. That's what I would do. All right, let's see. Have you ever built tables with hairpin legs?
I've never done a hairpin leg table, but
you could.
I mean, those are really easy. You just build the top and then screw the hairpin in.
Hairpins are thin, and I like thick legs. I like my legs chunky. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, Caitlin says that this will be perfect. Good, because Caitlin's setting up our POS system. And by the way, Caitlin, we just hired our first new employee. She is going to be working in the mornings, and she's awesome. And just to get the word out, if you're local to Utah, we are looking to hire somebody to cover the afternoon shift and Saturdays. So it's not the kind of job that you would probably want to move for. Oh, thanks, Linda. Super chat. Woo, woo.
Oh, thank you. Well, starting out, we're not going to be open a ton of hours till we get things kind of settled and get the house done.
Is the other side of the door flat? It is not. So that's why we're going to be using epoxy. So we'll make it flat. Hopefully. We've never done it before. We like to try things live that we've never done before.
That's not true. I've filled in lots of resin. This is just a lot. Like, it's a lot to fill in. So we may run out of resin before the video's over.
Yeah, but we've never done this project with
Oh,
resin before.
no, this is the first time doing this.
We have used resin.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm just thinking. The way it's going so fast, we can move in next month, somebody says. Yeah, honestly, if we didn't have to build an addition, we could have this thing done, buttoned up another month.
Yeah, because the other, well, we'll see what the city says. We might be changing our plans completely and adding.
More super chat from Margie. Thank you, Margie.
And you know, changing things up.
You two amaze me with all the projects you have going on and the total commitment to your business and family. Thank you. It's a lot of fun. I feel like we can be committed to everything because there's really no separation. Business, family, it's all the same. In fact, when I was talking to the new gal, her name is Jean, who's going to be working in the mornings, I just said, you know, it's a family.
Oh, you turned the volume up somehow.
Oh, what the heck? How did the volume get back on?
You touched it.
Oh, I touched it. Sorry.
I'll be right back.
Okay, you come right back. I was telling Jean, I said, what's really important is that everybody that works here knows this is family-friendly business, and your family and your personal welfare is as important to me as my business. Because everybody that works for me, I want them to feel like coming to Jami Ray Vintage is a safe place where they're comfortable and they're loved. And I want everybody that comes in that door to feel the exact same way. I just want our shop to be an extension of our channel and our brand. And our brand is all about family and being kind to people and making places beautiful without spending $1 million and doing things yourself and having the confidence to do that. So she was right on board with that. I said, you're probably going to be painting some stuff. She was cool with that, so I'm super excited. So if you know anybody that lives in Utah that would like to work in that kind of environment, that is comfortable being occasionally on camera and painting stuff, send them our way.
All right, I got to drill for a second.
Tony gave us some super chat. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks. So this is the countersink bit, and I'll bring you over so you can watch. So what it does is it basically drills in so the screw doesn't split the wood, and then this part here drills down, and that gives you kind of like a seat so you can plug it.
Are we going to plug these?
I'm going to plug them.
How are you going to make it match the wood?
I'll make them old first.
Are you going to make your own plugs?
Maybe. So hopefully you guys can see. I'm just going to, typically you don't want to screw into end grain, but I'm going to break the rules right now.
Using resin will be expensive. Luckily, we get the resin at wholesale because we sell it.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of resin.
We're not going to fill this whole piece in. This is the back.
No. Yeah, this is the bottom.
We're just filling in these little lips on the opposite side. So maybe they're thinking that. For sure, that would be really expensive. And we thought about glass, but glass is expensive too. if you want to paint something, I say go ahead and paint it because people have been painting antiques forever. We're going to be in France in October looking at old paint finishes in French country. And people were painting furniture like 100 years ago. So I say do it. A lot of times, especially if you're using a good quality paint, not a latex or whatever, it's a paint that can easily come off later and it protects the wood underneath. Because you can strip it later and the wood's not exposed to the elements. What are you doing?
Waiting for you.
I'll be done talking.
It'll just be a second, then we can flip it over and put the pretty on it.
Marlene says, dang, I love this table already. Hi, Marlene. All right. I have a Krug drill. Should I use that for the corners instead of, or Craig drill? Should I use that for the corners instead of
yeah, so typically I would have pre-drilled these, but I didn't because I was rushing to get this ready to go. So I'm just going to go into the end grain. You would come over here from this end and drill in, and the Craig jig is great for setting that up.
Well, we could always do that later because we have a Craig, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We have a Craig now.
So I got a little bit of a lip over here because all the wood is old and literally like 100 years old, and it's doing its own thing. So I'll just sand that and you won't notice once it's all done.
While I paint this project, we're going to be stenciling. So we're going to flip the other side over in a second. We'll show you how cool. It's like a really fun vintage green. So we won't be painting that. And we won't be painting this wood. We'll sand this and leave the natural wood. And then we're going to have the big chunky white legs. So it'll be, you can tell that it was salvage. At least that's my plan. You never know with me.
That's the hope.
That's the hope. That's the hope and the dream. The legs are chippy white, so you don't want to mess with that.
We'll set them up in here so you kind of have an idea. I mean, I guess I could screw them on from the outside. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them in how I always do them.
Diamonds are forever said she'd love to work for us, but she lives in Germany. The girl that I guess the woman, she's not a girl. The woman I hired this morning, her daughter actually already works for the shop, and she is super, super sweet. And so when she said her mom wanted to work for us, I was like, heck yes. But her daughter isn't going to work for us because she's going off to college. So.
I got to do 3 holes.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll talk.
And then I got to put screws into the 3 holes.
Deanna, this is for the shop. Although, if I didn't need a bunch of storage, this would make a great kitchen island.
Oh, it would be a nice big island.
Have I ever done a piece of furniture that I feel turned out perfect? No. There's always ways you can make something more perfect. That's the part of being like the human element, is that it's imperfect. All right, one more screw.
All right, now we can flip it.
Okay. I actually don't like things perfect. Steph can tell you that.
Yep, a little bit of character is what we love. Because, you know, by the time things get old, which is why we like old stuff, this knot's going to have to be glued back in. It's what happened is
this is going to require a lot of sanding. We're going to flip this over. This is like splinter heaven here on the edge, so we're going to have to really...
Oh, some 80 grit will knock that right down.
Yeah.
I don't want to sand it too much because it's pretty rough sawn on the edges, and I want to leave some of that character. All right, so which way do you...
For sure the underside.
Okay, how are we going to flip it so we don't drag the drop cloth with all the sawdust off?
We're going to flip this that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to show them the legs.
Oh, we
Hold
are?
on.
Oh. Hold on.
I was gonna set the legs in there so they could see it.
All right, we're going to show you what the legs will kind of look like. See? Ta-da. But they're not going to be put on. And I will not be painting these legs. I'm going to wash them.
I was thinking of doing the big fat legs up front and then the smaller ones in the back.
Yeah, do the matching legs in the front. And then so these are just porch posts that we cut in half. So the front and back legs will not be exactly the same.
Which is also fun. We've done a couple tables like this with these porch legs.
Well, I also love it that it has the house number. We'll show. Hold on. Can you guys see that?
You could take them flying.
This is the house number. So it's 63. We're going to leave that on there. The 6 is gone, but you can see that they're originally a porch post, which I think is really fun. So that's what you have to use your imagination a little bit. Zeb will put on brackets that come across this way, and screw these legs in like you would a regular table. And we may go ahead and, for extra stability, put some 2x4s across and brace it that way too, like you would like a dining table.
Once we get the resin in, it'll be a lot stronger.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, because I won't get to it on camera on this video, because I haven't cut them yet, what'll happen is I'll put a brace across here on the back and across over here on every one of them, and then I'll take 2 big lag bolts and screw them down in, and then the legs will be able to come off pretty easy, and that'll make them super strong. I may even come from the outside over here if I feel like they need more support, because they're really big. Because anytime you get a table this big,
maybe just do some clips so you don't have to screw from outside. Do some little clips.
Yeah, I could do some angle brackets.
Yeah.
But anytime you get a table this big, if someone ever drags that, these legs want to jump a little bit.
So you just gotta make sure they're really secure. Don't worry, anything Zeb does, it'll be secure. All right, we gotta take these table legs off and flip this over and show them how we do the top.
Now we do the flipping.
Now we do the flipping.
Now we can show them the green top and all the fun stuff. They
already kind of saw it, so it's like the moment.
It's less dramatic.
This is the original, what the door looked like. Obviously, going to keep that color.
And I think it'll be really fun with this brown old
and
wood around.
And the chippy white legs. You got it?
Yep.
Okay, so it's kind of wobbly.
It's just a little wide for the island, so you gotta move your side just a hair forward.
Okay, I want the old doorknob to be front.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna wipe out.
All right, that's nice and solid.
Yeah, I'm gonna wipe out.
Anything you don't want to be seen, wipe it out, because once we put this clear resin on here, it's game over. Like, it'll be on there.
We're only gonna fill in the little portions here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, some might get on the top pouring it in, so.
That's fine, we'll sand it off. And we'll probably put a coat of sealer over the edge anyways. Alright. Alright, you probably should get to stenciling while I wipe this off.
Okay.
So we're gonna start the flower design.
What colors do you want the flowers
So I
to
want
be?
the design, because that's gonna be the front. I want the flowers, I was just thinking white. I know you're gonna do multicolored, but
Just white?
just white flowers so it's not too busy. But have the flowers facing up this way so that way when somebody's standing at it, it's the right direction for them.
Okay, so this is the front, right?
Yeah, that's the front.
Oh, I'm
so
gonna have to.
you need to
I'll
move.
have to probably fill that in with resin or something. The door was cut over here at a weird, crazy angle, worse than I thought it was, and I got a big gap.
We'll fill that in later. All right, so you're gonna have to hold this down because it's stencil. So we're using the Wildflower stencil. This is one of the new releases. You can get it at JamiRayVintage.com. It's custom designed. I actually hand drew that out, and they digitized it for me when I was designing the new stencils. And this is the wildflower one. So we're gonna do wildflowers in all the bottom. Do you think we should do the wildflower like carry over to this part here?
We could. Do we
Well,
have
let's
any
just do
tape?
the inset. What?
Do we have any tape?
Do we have any tape? Yeah. Here.
Oh,
Let me
I
find
don't
it.
see it.
You keep wiping and I'll find it.
All right, is it in the drawer over here?
It could be with the stencil stuff.
Someone took like some purple marker or something to this.
Or is it at the new house?
It might be over there still when we were stenciling the other day.
You might just have to hold it.
I may have to hold it. It'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
All right, let me look real quick.
I'm gonna blame a 4 or 5-year-old on this marker over here. Although it could be on the door. This
You
door.
want our new, this is the big stencil brush, or you want the little ones? We'll pull that out.
I'll use that too. So the Clifton house was kind of subdivided into apartments because the house was so big. They had like little one-room apartments in there. I think back in the 40s is when they did that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these doors had fun numbers on them.
Yeah, we have one in our basement that has numbers.
All right, I think
All right,
that's
let me
good.
grab you something to put the paint on.
A little bit of dirt will just add character and age, right?
Well, we sell aging dust.
It's like this dirt over here almost looks more like a lime wash.
We'll be like, it's dark wax. It's not dirt, it's dark wax. Okay, here's this.
People will be shocked. You never dark wax anything.
I know, right? Okay, so Zeb's gonna start stenciling.
Actually,
that.
I'm gonna
We
bring
also
you up
have
close.
you can't buy this, but our manufacturer made us a Jami Ray vintage stencil. And this is gonna get stenciled kind of like that at an angle on the door when we're all done. Do we want to do that in black, the logo, or do you want to do white?
So you want this all in white?
Yeah.
Where's the...
Did you need some white paint?
I'll grab the white one. You want to check comments?
Okay, sorry. We're super organized. We try. Everybody loves it. Deb's Oregon. See, Oregon represented the Jami Ray vintage this morning. All right. Let's see. Little clips, angle brackets. They actually make clips for tables. So I actually wasn't referring to angle brackets. They actually make table clips. That's how Zeb used to attach his tabletops to his bases when we made farm tables. How am I making the top flat, Caitlin? Resin. Okay.
No, you have to deal with it not flat.
What? Yeah. No, Caitlin will die. Her OCD will bother her. Did we paint that? No. This is the exact original paint color and everything. We'll seal it all up so that way it's all nice and safe. No paint comes off.
Oh, well, the resin will.
Yeah, but we're not going to resin this part. We'll seal that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, so these edges over here are going to be interesting. I'm going to start in the center.
Go ahead. We're just making sure. Yeah, we're stenciling first, then we're doing the resin. Stacy says this is her favorite new JRB stencil. Neck and Neck, the most popular is our grain sack and the wildflower in the newest one. And people are starting to order the fall ones and a few bohemian, but I think after tomorrow's video, when people start seeing me use the macrame ones, I think they're going to be popular.
They just haven't caught the vision yet. I think it will.
Shirley says she's in Silverton outside of Salem, Utah.
Can you?
That's probably, Salem's about 45 minutes from us, I think.
Can you hand me a rag? I got some white paint with this.
How much resin do we think it will take?
Oh, it might take like a gallon or two, a couple
Yeah,
gallons.
We'll find out. We'll let you know how many boxes it takes. Now, where'd you get paint on? Oh. Sorry, it'll come off.
So I switched up stencil brushes. This is going to be the new version of the Lil C, or in addition to, it's got a little bit better handle on it for holding onto it.
So the resin we will do today, because this paint will be dry enough that we can pour the resin on it.
Yeah, it won't go anywhere.
We'll do a few more while this dries, and then we'll pour the resin so you guys can see that. The legs, we'll try to put it in a video that comes out maybe Friday.
I'm really having to hold these edges down because the indent of the door panel is not letting it lay flat. I'm half tempted to cut it.
So somebody wanted to know how to make a deep teal, like forest green color with DIY paint. I would say mix bohemian blue with like gypsy green and slowly add the bohemian blue, and I think you'd get the color you want. I do know they have new colors coming out September 8th, so don't know exactly what those are, but I've ordered colors. I ordered all the mystery colors. So if you watch September 8th, see if that color comes out. I know there's new blues and greens coming.
All right, this is going to get interesting here. The stencil is too big to fit down in. We'll see how.
You need to hold it in?
No, I got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm here to assist.
Here, maybe hold the top up there.
So this color is really close to, if you mixed apothecary and gypsy green, you would get this color. Remember, if you guys remember, I painted that old toolbox. That sold this weekend at the market. Like, I've only had it on the floor a few days. So for future reference, painted toolboxes sell well. Holding it down.
Might get a little faded towards the edge.
It's all right, we'll distress it. All right.
I'm basically just like jabbing the brush
fine.
in there
Oh!
because it can't lay flat.
All right, now you need to refix. That's slid over. You're not lined up, sweetie.
I'm lined up enough.
You're lined up enough?
This is a lined up enough situation.
So you did need my help.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to get the leaf a little bit.
That's good.
It actually went on pretty well.
Ta-da! Oh, that looks awesome. Show them.
I will. We're coming flying.
I love it. I'm wondering now, should we carry this over across here, or should we just only do it in the indents? I think only in the indents.
We'll try the indents first, and
And if we
then
need to, all right.
then if we need to go over.
All right.
Where do you want? You need to figure out where you want the Jami Ray Vintage to go.
So the Jami Ray Vintage is gonna go right here like that. To there.
It's gonna go right there. I'll do that one.
Or do you want to put it like in the inset here? I just don't know exactly where the cash register is going to go, and I don't want to.
I think people will see it good here.
Yeah, because that's where they're going to be. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm going to answer questions.
Everybody is divided on.
All right, just inside, carry across. Well, we're going to do the inside first, and then we'll.
Oh no! Can you wipe that too? It rolled when I moved it.
What do you need? Oh, yeah. This is why we have paint all over our dishes. There's dirty dishes in the sink, and I'm wiping that off. The new house, we almost forgot to put a sink in the garage. We were with the architect yesterday, and I was like, oh, we need a slop sink. He did not know what slop sink was. He's like, oh, you mean those big janitor sinks? And I was like, sure. We just don't want to wash our paintbrushes in the kitchen anymore because the sink gets paint in it. All of our dishes have paint on them.
They don't all have paint.
I just stenciled a piece of fabric for a chair. What's your favorite top coat? So if you stenciled fabric, you're just going to use a iron and heat press it for about 20 seconds in each spot. Make sure it's set for the fabric that you're using, and you can even put like a piece of fabric over the top to keep any of that paint from smearing. But you don't need to top coat that. Well, it depends on what paint you use. But if you used our paint, you do it that way. If you used another paint, I'm not sure. Maybe spray Scotch Guard. Start the sign. Jami can't wait to see it. Love the stencil on the door. You want me to start the sign? Still drying. It's still wet. Give it a minute.
I need more wiping. I'm getting paint everywhere.
I can't do the sign. I have to be the assistant. How is this? Is this paint dry over here yet?
No.
We'll just do a couple of them because they get the idea.
Maybe just like a light distress too.
All right. DIY, of course, in white. Well, you know. I just thought the white would look good because the legs are white, and I don't want it to be like too crazy busy. All right. I'll start the sign. It's a little damp. My problem is I'm worried that I can't line up the words. I already pre-found the letters, so that way you guys don't have to watch me do that. Hopefully that's straight. So I'm just using our alphabet letters. You can pick them up at jamirayvintage.com. And I'm using the stencil brushes that we will have come out shortly. I like to use little black dress with white stencils.
Oops.
With white paint. That is not
over
level. Okay. Well, then does that look level to you? It's up a little because I forgot these aren't centered. That's fine. I like to use white paint because then when I distress it, it kind of looks like a chalkboard. And I'm just going to make this say thank you. And if you sell products, it's really good to use them when you're setting up your shop space because then people will see them and then want to buy them so they can do something similar. Look. Oops.
Yeah, I had the same problem over here.
Oh.
I was holding the brush, lining it up, and then.
Oh, that's no bueno.
This one's not as good. You haven't been holding it.
Oh, hold on. We're a sad pair.
I think we're doing okay. It's getting distressed.
It's got a little situation happening here. All right, now we gotta wait for that to dry. I could probably do
Like this one over here got way off.
Oh. Yeah, that's bad. Good thing we're gonna distress that.
Yep. I never worry about it.
I guess I could just try to make this a little crooked so it doesn't have to be straight. I don't know.
Make it be handmade.
It is handmade. It's handmade for sure. It's like two of us pouncing at once.
I know, it's a lot of pouncing.
Alright, and then I need an N. I think everybody should have either a set of letter stamps from IOD because then you can make things say whatever you want them to say. And they really are some of the most versatile stamps and stencils that we have. Especially if you want, okay, I can't do the K yet because that's still wet from my little mishap. Caitlin's putting the links to these on the video, and when we're no longer live, they'll be in the description box. Have really hot here in Northern California. Have you ever added Floetrol to DIY or an extender like Floetrol? I have not, but I have heard that it works just fine.
You could also just water it down a little if it's too thick and drying too fast. It can stand up to a little bit of watering down. Yeah, I wouldn't put it in your paint sprayer. We sound like a couple of woodpeckers, yeah, right? So the story about the green door is that it came from the Clifton House in Arizona, which is an old like apartment building in Morenci, or actually Clifton, Arizona, and they all had a bunch of different random doors with like numbers on them, and that's where this door came from. All right, so you want this I think here. You're gonna have to cut this board down later. It's too that's long. Fine. You want this here though? Kind of, yeah, but at an angle. No, other way. Yeah. There you go, like that. You want to show them how to do that? Bring it close on this one so you can see the things. My paintbrush is very, very dry when I'm doing this. That is the key. The wetter your brush is, the more likely it is to bleed. And always go up and down so you're not getting under the edges. I'm not sure if I want that in white or black, so if I don't like it, we'll just wash that off and do it in black. I think white matches pretty well. I hope I got a little juicy on it. And then if you guys ever come to the store, you can see the projects that we work on our videos live. All right. Oh, I was like, that's not spelled right. It's because it's missing the K because that was drying. So now we can put the K on. Had to wait for it to dry because I made a little mistakey. That looks about right. Okay, that's done. And then should put that straight on. I think at an angle. Kathleen, yes, you can flip it over. You can do just little parts of it. So it's not going to be like an all over stencil because it curves back into itself, but you could definitely flip it if you wanted to get like some variation. So if I were doing like a big wall or something, I would layer it on and do like parts here and parts there, and maybe even do the flowers in different colors every now and then. Could be a lot of fun doing that. Oh, there we go. All right, so here's my sign. And then, you guys see that? You spelled thank you wrong. What? That's not funny. And Zeb's gonna cut this so that way there's not all this extra space on the bottom, and then he'll frame it out, and then this will hang out on the side of the checkout where the customers walk up to. They said cut the stencil. I'm not ready to cut that stencil. No, I mean we could get another one because I know a guy, but I gotta make some stuff with it tomorrow, so we can't cut it. All right, what do you guys think of my thank you sign? You like it? All right, are we ready to do some light distressing and some resin? Is this dry? I think it's dry enough you could distress it. Yeah, go give me a little sanding block and I'll distress that. You guys get the idea here. We're gonna do this in every one, but we're not gonna make you watch the whole thing. We'll get the resin going so you guys can see that. Looks cute, Jamie. The sign would be pretty with an ivy stencil. I think it would too, but I'm worried that the board is too deep because it's gonna hang below the lip of it. So being a little bit shorter, I think that'll actually work out good. And I may have to cut a little from each side and just make it a little bit smaller. All right, distress away. April just said, make a sign that says, your husband called, he said you can buy anything you want. I think I've seen that. The thing is that in my case, I never ask my husband to buy what I want. Unless it's like a lot of money. You weirdly called me the other day asking about something. I'm like, why are you even calling me? $200. Now this, I'm going this way because the wood grain is that way. So then you get this really cool pattern. All right, perfect.
Okay, this one is still a little wet, so let's not do that one. Let me get the dust off of here before we pour the resin.
Okay.
I'm gonna go, I don't want to
You don't
take
want
the
to
paint
smear
off, and I don't want to smear it. So I'm going like very, very lightly. I was outside, I just used the air hose. So I'm not pushing hard at all, because otherwise I would smear that white paint. Let me get down into this crack here. All right, go ahead and let's pour resin in this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this down.
Man, that makes our counter super tall. It's like I'm a small child back here.
You're like a little baby.
All right, so this amazing clear cast resin is 2 parts.
My hot cocoa mug has got water in it this morning.
And you can use it thinner. You can use it to do, here, I'll show you the box.
So the ones we sell on our website are about half this size. These are some big ones that accidentally got sent to us. So if you're working on a smaller epoxy project, we do sell them on our website. And this is our favorite brand because it works.
It's really clear. It's got a little bit of an open time here. It takes about 24 hours to really start drying up. When you pour it thick, it dries a little faster because the reaction is stronger. So this might not take 24 hours, but if you're doing thin coats, give it 24 hours to set.
Hold on,
And I am just gonna pour the whole side A and the whole side B in here.
I'm just gonna hit some of that.
All right, I need you to hold that and let it just drain out. This side A is thicker.
Ooh. Yeah, this resin is amazing. Clear cast is some of my favorites. You could pick it up at your local craft store, but if you can't, we do sell it on our website. Deidre says she loves the sign. Thank you. I love making signs from old scraps because I love making something that was going to go in the garbage useful again.
So when you first start pouring this, you have about half an hour of open time, depending on your project. Open time meaning it won't start curing and setting up for about 30 minutes. And it's gonna have some little bubbles, and I'll show you, we're gonna play with some fire.
She asked if we took it out of inventory, but we don't have these ones in inventory.
The big ones aren't in inventory.
Just the little boxes. We don't carry this size.
I mean,
this wasn't.
maybe check and see if they are, but I don't think they are.
I don't know. I think we just carried. Yeah.
And if they are, we'll get more.
Our Duckster says her hubby is a Zeb in training. Zeb is a Zeb in training.
I train every day.
They can't see your head, but Zeb, I was telling him the other day, you know, people ask him how he got so good at carpentry. He just did it. Like, he's gotten so much better since he came to work for me over 4 years ago. His skill just continues to improve. Carpentry, creativeness, it's all a muscle. The more you use it, the better it gets. The stronger
Work
it is.
for you.
Well, you work with me now, but when you first quit, it was more a work for me. Now you make a lot of decisions, and sometimes I work for you. Like when we're at the house, you're the boss. You're the foreman. You're the foreman of the new house, unless it comes to design. Yesterday we thought we were almost done with our architect, and then we sat down, and that red pen was all over the place. We moved the staircase around so that way it could have like a turned edge, so it could have 2 newel posts. We took away a closet and made our laundry room bigger and moved the playroom next to the boys' room, and we're gonna do a little mouse hole between them. What else did we change? I don't know. I think that was most of it. We changed a window that he had in there. I actually, don't forget, we need to measure that big window there, see if we can use it.
I feel like that's good enough.
Okay.
I mean, if we're off on this amount, just a little bit, it'll still
It's
set
still
up.
going though.
Hey, you might be there all day. That side A is thick. I'm gonna go get.
I'm just gonna sit here while I'll just let it. It's still drizzling.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Leah. Love y'all's partnership. We work pretty good. Sometimes he's in charge, sometimes I'm in charge. It's usually how it works. And neither one of us are too afraid to let the other one take charge on certain projects. Some things don't work when both people are in charge. Let's see. I did 4 coats of Sweet Pickin's top coat on her kitchen table. Yeah, Sweet Pickin's top coat is awesome. Big top. I believe we used Big Top on our kitchen table. It's held up really, really well. We're gonna do a natural wood island in our kitchen, in our new house. And we'll probably use either Sweet Pickens top coat or Big Top, I haven't decided, and we'll let you know how that holds up as a countertop. I don't mind a little natural age though, so I might not be the right person to ask. I like things as they get old and worn. So somebody says that JRV stencil would look good in black instead of white on there. But I kind of like the white because it just looks aged and it's not like overly obnoxious.
Since it's up on top, we can always change that if we don't like it.
But I do like it. And we'll have it again like on the thank you sign.
Okay, time to start stirring.
Okay. You just need me.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So stirring this, you want to get all the corners, all the edges. You don't want to lift up out of it a lot because you'll get a lot of bubbles and things if you just go crazy. You don't want to stir it with like a mixer. I guess you could, but you're gonna froth it up and it'll get all kinds of bubbles. You want to bring them close a little bit on the camera so they can see a little better?
I could do that. You guys want to get closer to the situation? Okay.
There we go.
Oops, there you go. Alright, let me grab the comments.
So it takes about a minute or two to stir this up. You want to just keep stirring until...
You can see that the yellow and the clear are not mixed together.
They're trying to combine there. It's a little milky and cloudy. And you just keep going until it comes all back around to clear.
Oh, she says we do have them. All right, well, we took the 3 that we had. So better take those out of inventory.
And maybe order more if people want to get this.
Yeah, we'll look when we're no longer live. If that's the 32 ounce, we have that online. What is this?
It is the 32 ounce.
Yeah.
I think we put them online because we got a bunch of misorder. I'm like, just put them on.
Okay,
I don't know that we've sold any.
Take, is this full too? These ones?
Yeah.
So take.
We're going to use all of them.
Take 4 out of inventory, and then if people want them in that big size, we'll order more. Does it have a strong odor? I can't smell anything.
It does. It's not.
No.
It's not 100% VOC free because it's a 2-part reaction, so it does start to off gas a little bit, but it's not crazy. It smells like plastic.
It says that they have 9 in inventory. We may have been using them and not taking them out. I'm gonna go look before I forget. You keep talking.
I have used a few of the resins because I didn't think those were in stock, so you know, it's good we're catching this. One of the things that may or may not have slipped through the cracks with the current craziness going on over here at Jami Ray Vintage. Does it get super bubbly when you stir? A little bit, but I'm not lifting it out. I'm keeping it in here, and I'm not like whipping it and getting it frothy. So the more calm you are with your stirring, the less bubbles you're gonna get. And I will show you how to get your bubbles out if you do get bubbles.
Okay, so Caitlin, there are none in there. So take out all of the 32 ounces. We'll see how far it goes. If it's something that people want and they don't want the 16-ounce size, which is what we also carry, we can always just order more. Will that amount cover the whole slot, Evelyn? I don't know. We are about to find out. Sometimes we do things live just for funsies. Scrape those sides, Zeb. Scrape those sides.
I am scraping
That's what Denise says.
I'm scraping them.
Zeb's gonna have fun with fire.
So this resin is also used for like making jewelry.
You need a bigger stick?
No. Making jewelry, all kinds of stuff. You just, this amount, I think it's 32 ounces. You're gonna just have to stir
You could
and
use
stir
it
and
in
stir.
the IOD molds if you were willing to let it wait.
I would wager we're probably gonna have to take about 3 of these to fill one
You think so?
thing. Yeah, I think it's that much. Holds a lot of
Plant
liquid.
Bar AZ's on here, Crystal's on. If you guys haven't, click Plant Bar AZ on here and subscribe to their YouTube channel. And if you're in Arizona, there's like a speck in there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It'll be all right. It'll be suspended
If
forever.
you're from Arizona, head over to New River, which is in the Anthem area, and head over to Plant Bar AZ. We sell our products there, and they have a plant bar where you can plant succulents and awesome household plants.
This is the part in the video where, like, if I were editing this, like, you would have seen me stir this for maybe 5 seconds, and then I would have jumped to the end of the stirring.
This is what happens when you get it live.
So I started stirring a little quicker because it was taking a long time, and I got bubbles now.
Yes, Lisa, this is going to be our front counter at the shop.
Okay, so I'm back to clear.
They said, don't you tape so it doesn't leak? I don't think it's going to
I'm not going to tape on this because I don't think it'll leak out. If it does, it's just going to leak to the next panel.
It'll leak on the bottom, and we have a drop cloth underneath.
Or it'll go to the drop cloth, yeah. I'm not worried about it.
If a transfer is listed on a back order, how long would it take to receive? Usually it can take sometimes upwards of a month. But email customercare@jamirayvintage.com and Caitlin can give you a better idea. When we back order, we're at the mercy of Iron Orchid Designs and when they get it in.
All right, so I'm just pouring nice and slow.
Hopefully it's level.
Oh, it'll be all right.
That's really satisfying to watch.
Yeah, I think it'll take 3 of them.
Per thing?
Per thing. This is gonna be but the table was pretty much free. I mean, if we spend $100 on resin to make this look awesome, it's not gonna be a big deal.
That's true.
I would probably sell a table like this for close to $750, $800 because of those legs and the salvage.
Sorry. Lisa said she met Lisa said she met Crystal at Plant Bar AZ. Sorry, I was mixing up my words.
All right, you want to start mixing up another one?
Yep.
We might be able to do it with 2.
That
went farther than I thought.
All right, so let's get another one going.
Okay, so pouring it slow like that, most of the bubbles actually work themselves out. We don't currently have any bubbles that I can see, maybe a couple little spots here and there, but they mostly are worked out. And then if you do, you can take like a little needle or even your stir stick and just pop them. I think usually you would change containers so you don't get like cross-contamination with mixed and non-mixed, but since we're just going right back on top of this and it's still in the open window working time, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Well, we'll find out if it's going to be a problem here real soon. Here's the knife. Do you need that?
Sure. Thanks, Teresa.
What'd you say?
She said, hi, Zev and Jami, your friend from, I'm going to say South Carolina, because I can't say the name of your town, Swansea. I absolutely love y'all's videos.
All right, I'm pouring it in. I got this. If you give me the other one, you can start doing whatever you're going to do with fire.
Oh, I was going to wait.
I'm going to do some mixing like this.
So we actually don't have any bubbles. Were you to get bubbles, I just have this, it's the Burnzomatic, and it has a lock too. You can lock it, but you just take this and
Steph just really wanted to do that.
You just take it and you just hit right on the bubble. You don't want to do it too much because it can it can activate your resin and make it crumbly.
All right, I think we got most of this out of
So you
here.
just want to like hit the top just fast. All right, you ready for me to stir that?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to talk about something exciting while I stir this.
While you stir, what's exciting?
I don't know, maybe do another side.
I don't have another side of you. Okay. Alrighty.
I'm gonna stir a little faster since all my bubbles went out when I
I
poured
can
anyway.
show them how I distress the sign and how it makes it look like chalkboard.
Just don't get any dust in my resin. I don't think they can see what you're doing.
Yeah, they can. It's just 220 sandpaper. Oops, Zeb's got to cut that part off. All right, now you can kind of see it looks a little bit like a chalkboard because the white pigment gets all over the black pigment and kind of smears, which is actually what we want. And then when we seal it, it'll look like an old chalkboard.
Dunford Paul, hey, new sub from the UK. Can you let me know how you first started and how it took off? Love your videos. Probably a good video to watch on how we first started. We have a video on how we met and kind of like our relationship and things, but we also talk about how we first got started doing Jami Ray Vintage. Or we have channel membership, and that is all about how we run our business and things we do to grow and promote that on the channel membership. So you might want to check those two things out.
You could also cut plexiglass or glass to put down in these inserts, but it's actually more expensive than one might think.
Yeah, it would probably be about $100-$150 to get a good piece of thick glass to cover this whole surface.
Or individual ones to go down in there.
And by the time we pay for the resin, we'll probably be about, I want to say close to 100. We might be up to 150. It depends on how much resin this takes.
To purchase this white resin, right now we have these half of this size for smaller projects, and you can pick it up at JamiRayVintage.com. And you can use them on big projects, but you can also use them on small projects too. This is a high gloss resin. Oh, Caitlin put a link. She's so good.
For the video?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we buy it in bulk, but you can buy it on our website. Tyrell says, yeah, you might need that to get some more, bro.
I always, Ty is my brother. He knows how much resin takes. He's done some pouring. But I always talk in, like when I say $150, I'm talking in retail pricing.
Yeah. All right, how's it going?
Just a little bit more stirring.
Just a little bit more.
Then we can see if this is gonna take, I mean, maybe 2.5. We might be 2.5 per panel.
We got like
which
2 minutes and then I gotta go work out.
Oh, all right. But they get the idea. It'll be really cool. We'll get legs on it. We'll get a good picture up on Instagram and Facebook. And if you're subscribed and got the notifications set up, we're going to be doing a bunch of shop videos here. End of the month, 1st of September, we'll have it'll all be about the shop and setting that up
And you'll see it.
and all the projects for that. So that should be fun and a little bit of change of pace from the house videos for a minute.
Somebody said, would you ever put old paintbrushes in the resin? That would be fun.
That would be cool.
They'd have to not be super thick.
You could suspend a lot of things in this.
This is true. All right, let's see. Do you have any more questions? How long? It takes 24 hours to dry completely.
It takes 24 hours to set up. I would say give it a good 48. If you're in a humid area, maybe even
Allowed
take 48.
to cure for 18 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
If desired, a second coat can be added in as little as 4 to 6.
Yeah, you can. It doesn't have to be dry to second coat it. So a lot of this is designed. So like if you see those like at a restaurant or a counter or a bar or whatever, and it looks like it's got like this thick finish, what they did is they just poured it on there and let it waterfall over the edge until it leveled itself, and then that's the finish. And
you could stir the resin with a whisk, but then you couldn't use the whisk for anything else. And then how would I make pancakes?
Yeah, you can just get your own
You could get a
dedicated
resin
whisk.
But then you don't really want to use it twice, because then what if the resin chunks off into the new resin?
It does not rinse off well. It is an
Yeah, it's
oil-based
kind of, you want to use
product.
something that you dispose of.
Yeah.
How do
And
I
the,
get to
the stick works really well.
Dunsford Paul, the channel membership, there's a button right next to subscribe that says join, or if you check the description of every video since January, you press a little down arrow, and in the description it'll have our channel membership link there.
Also on the channel membership, we've got a rough draft of a book, and that primarily focuses on like running our business as well.
We are not pouring oh, careful.
It's not going to go over. It'll.
We are not pouring resin over the whole top, just the inserts. I think 2 might do it.
I don't think you're going to get level.
Yeah.
We've got a little gap in the door. You may need to seal that off over here.
Oh.
Yep, it's going to need a third one.
Yeah. Is it dripping?
Here, hold this, and I'll fix that situation.
Yeah, and on the other side too. Well, it might not need a third one. It might need part of a third one. It's almost full with 2.
You have to watch it over though. So I'm not too worried about that coming over. I just don't want it to drain all over into there because we're going to fill this one too, you know?
Yeah, but we need to we haven't stenciled that one. All right. Okay, I'm going to leave Zeb here finishing this up.
We can say bye. It's time.
I know, but I'm just saying, you want to finish this up so that way it's done, or are you going to go work in the garage?
So I have a lot of things to do in the garage, but I'll finish pour. I'll do at least one more pour on this. We're going to have to get more resin. So
We're going to need more. We might have to bust into the little boxes. Order some more big ones. See how long it takes to get here. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you're hitting up JamiRayVintage.com, and thank you, Gail, for that super chat. Says #1 fan there. Make sure you hit up JamiRayVintage.com for the paint, the stencils, and the products we use that help support our channel so we can do more content. Share this video. That we made a mess right there. And subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Bye, you guys. See you later.
Catch you later, guys.